Be ready. Start. There is some dispute between the parties with regard to the manner and time in which these payments were or were not made. On failure to attain the object of restructuring, the respondent company submitted a proposal to the Consortium of Banks for Corporate Debt Restructuring CDR and improving the performance and to achieve positive results during the year 2006-7. The CDR mechanism used the land sale proceeds. Upon making the proposal, the respondent company discontinued its production activity in the nylon plant. The CDR empowered group approved the package for restructuring of debts on 21st January 2008, but still it could not improve the financial business position of the respondent company till the period ending on 30th June 2008. On or about 24th September 2008, the consortium banks released their interest over the property. An agreement with the recognized employees unions was also entered into on 5th September 2008, but then it ran into problems as it was contended by the labor unions that their dues should be cleared first, and on transfer of land appellant company should provide 18 acres of land for a proposed employees colony. An early retirement scheme was also introduced, and out of the total strength of 3,725 employees, about 577 employees opted to take the benefit of this scheme. The respondent company then negotiated with the appellant company sometime in September 2008 for payment of the third installment of rupees 48.90 crore. However, simultaneously, the labor unions raised the question of payment of bonus, which adversely affected the revival plans. The chemical plant of the company was restarted. On 3rd December 2008, the respondent company moved an application before the BIFR in case number 55 of 2008 under section 15(1) of the Act of 1985. The appellant company refused to release the third installment, and resultantly, even the dues of 577 employees who had taken the benefit of the early retirement scheme could not be cleared. The BIFR, vide its order dated 16th July 2009, fixed the cut-off date as 30th July 2007. It directed that the sale of assets, including investments, will require prior approval of the BIFR. It also appointed the Punjab National Bank as the operating agency under Section 17(3) of the Act of 1985. As per Section 18(8) of the Act of 1985, the cut-off date is the date of coming into operation of the sanctioned scheme or any provisions thereof. In other words, all matters relating to the company would, after this date, be within the ambit and scope of the provisions of the Act of 1985, and as already noticed, the BIFR had declared the cut-off date to be 30th July of 2007. As is evident from the above noted directions, the BIFR treated the land as an investment and has put certain restrictions thereupon, including that of sale of assets, which required the prior approval of BIFR, as the respondent company was under the purview of the Act of 1985. With reference to the land, it was directed that capacity valuation report should be placed on record to show how the sale consideration of rupees 166.40 crore was arrived at. Aggrieved from this order, the appellant company as well as the respondent company both have preferred an appeal before the Appellate Authority for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction, for short AAIFR, under section 25 of the Act of 1985. The AAIFR made major variations in the order of the BIFR. Firstly, it held that BIFR should not have fixed 30th July 2007 as the cutoff date, and secondly, that the provisions of Section 22A would not apply to an agreement for sale which had already been entered into, registered, acted upon, and was in the process of completion. While dealing with the order of the BIFR, AAIFR, vide its order dated 20th May 2010, set aside certain findings of the BIFR as well as passed certain other directions. In view of the aforesaid discussion and considering the various provisions of the MOU dated 13/4/2006, Agreement for Sale dated 1/3/2007, and Supplementary Agreement dated 21/9/2007, we are of the view that the provisions of Section 22A will not apply to the agreement for sale already entered into, registered, and acted upon, and in the process of completion. Had it been the intention of the legislature to cover the past transactions within the ambit of Section 22A, the provisions for suspension of existing contracts, etc., would not have been provided under subsection 3 of Section 2 of SICA, under which the BIFR has not passed any order. Readiness and willingness of the parties to the sale agreement to honor the contract is also a paramount consideration. Therefore, in our view, the cutoff date fixed by the BIFR in the impugned order is required to be suitably modified by the BIFR. Thank you.